Hey guys, how's it going? On this week's video, I'll be breaking down one of my favorite upper body exercises, the Thor press. So much like most of the other drills that I've exposed you guys to before, it's going to be a unilateral drill, meaning I'm going to try to focus on loading just one half of the body. We're going to stabilize our pelvis by assuming a hip shifting position. That means you're going to get adductors, you're going to get heels, you're going to get hamstrings on your right side. We're going to get a full exhale on the right, meaning our right obliques, our right internal obliques are going to help support this position. And finally, we're going to finish with a pressing motion, having our humerus out to the side. And upon completion of the press, we're going to engage into a little bit of protraction. So now what we're doing is we're fully compressing one side of the body and allowing the other side to kind of decompress or unload itself. A lot of common issues that will happen is that people will try to load both sides of the body during this drill, and that's where we can run into some complications. When people cannot unload one half of the body on an exercise like the Thor press or the single leg deadlift, that's generally when we run into stuff and we need to start taking a step back to re-examine how we're managing gravity in those situations. So without further ado, here's the drill. So my neck is going to rest on a towel. I'm in a little bit of neck extension here. The neck is being fully supported by the towel. Feet are together, knees are together. Digging my heels down and slightly back until I feel top of my hamstrings. My pelvis is going to want to tilt first, and then I'm just going to peel my tailbone off the ground as my knees approach the ceiling. Belly is soft and relaxed. I should feel hamstrings and inner thigh. And from here, I'm going to bias more pressure on the right side, shift, 60-40, 70-30, etc. And I should get a healthy amount of separation between the top of my knees. From here, elbow out at 90 degrees, exhale, reach. Neck is fully supported by the towel. Dig your heels down and back. Feel upper hamstrings, relax the belly. Shift, bias most of your weight onto the right side. Separate the hips. Okay. Elbow out at 90. You're going to feel hamstrings and adductors. Exhale. Reach. So a few things to consider when you're trying out this drill for the first time. When you're actually pressing, one of the first inclinations that I see people trying to do in order to solve this puzzle is as they finish that press, they're actually rotating and biasing their weight back onto the other side of the body. When this happens, I've seen people experience like twinges or tweaks in their lower back or mid back on the other side. And that's pretty much you're trying to get your body to just load one side, but as you finish that press, you are now shifting your center of pressure over to the opposite half of your body. And that's when things get a little bit confusing as far as your nervous system trying to figure out what is it you want to do. So one thing to watch out, you want to keep your center of pressure more biasing on that right side of the body. When you just allow yourself to feed into this rotation, you're going to shift your weight in a way that you don't want to do, and that's going to create complications later on down the line, especially as you get heavier with the weight. The second thing to consider is that upon the hip shift, upon the initial hip shift, what a lot of people will do is they'll treat this drill like an actual hip lift, so meaning or a hip bridge. So they'll dig their heels down, they'll squeeze their abs, they'll squeeze their glutes, and their lower body will just lift as one piece. but that's not what we really want to do. In order for us to load the hamstrings appropriately, we're going to have to let go of lumbar erectors. We're going to initially have to let go of your rectus. So that's why I always talk about letting go of your abs on the setup, because we don't want the rectus to try to kick in on the early stages of this lift. We just want the obliques to play a primary role. All right, so that's one thing that you want to consider. It almost should feel like your sacrum is being peeled off of the ground, and then the ascending vertebrae, the ascending corresponding vertebrae are just going along for the ride. You don't want to just lift the entirety of the torso off the ground. The third thing that you want to consider on this drill is to make sure that you are not making it an arm exercise. So sensory perception is king in all of these exercises. So if you feel that your arms are doing, or your shoulders are doing most of the lifting, take a step back, decrease the weight for a second, and see if you can exhale more before you begin the lift. See if you can concentrate most of your tension, or most of your attention and tension into your corresponding obliques. Because if you're feeling a ton of arm doing all of the work as you drive through this drill, you're not taking advantage of what the drill has to offer. You want to make sure that the obliques are integrating upper and lower body, and this becomes more of an ab and a serratus exercise. You may feel some triceps, and that's okay, but these guys over here on the press, you really don't want them to influence your sensory perception all that much, because that's going to lead to other things down the line. Okay, so make sure that you're feeling what you need to be feeling on this drill, meaning adductors, hamstrings, obliques, serratus, maybe some triceps. You don't want to feel a lot of tension in your neck yet. The towel, that's another reason why the towel is there. It's meant to support your neck so you can relax and focus your attention elsewhere. All right, so let me know if you have any questions on the drill. Shoot me a DM or drop a comment if you have any issues with troubleshooting it. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Hit me up on Instagram at mejorstrength.com. I'll see you guys next week.